Why are we bringing dollars in the middle of our trade?
Dear ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to the analysis of YOLENO TV. I hope you're well from wherever you're watching this channel. I'd like to start this session by appreciating you so much for making this channel grow. If you wish to support us, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Now, there is an old Swahili saying that asante ya punda ni mateke. That can only be explained by an event that William Ruto attended and called for de-dollarization. That call has always been there, lately, here in Africa, whereby some heads of state are trying to make sure that they don't use dollar. One of the countries that have always fought the US tooth and nail is South Africa, championed by Malema. There was Mugabe back then, the late, and then there was the Libyan president Gaddafi, who was assassinated. But of course, we all know by that the saying that asante ya punda ni mateke means that if I do you a favor today, in return I expect you to probably reciprocate or probably do me a favor in future. And then you end up, not honoring our agreement. That means unanilenga, unaniacha matani when at a time when we had discussed that maybe I'll do A, you'll do B for me. I am trying to refer to a scenario of US, UK, and the fact that there has been numerous allegations that they supported William Ruto's presidency. That is where I bring in this topic of asante ya punda ni mateke.
Egypt wants to pay. Why are we bringing dollars in the middle of our trade? In the process, all our business people are stranded. Egypt cannot pay for our tea because they are looking for dollars. We cannot pay for their sugar because we are also looking for dollars. I had a conversation with President Orama of the Afri-Exim Bank, and they have built a mechanism where all our traders can trade in the local currency, and we leave it to the Africa-Exim Bank to settle all the payments in local currency. We do not have to look for dollars. Our businessmen, our business people, our traders will concentrate on moving goods. I know we're all trying to see because of what the dollar has done to all our economies.
We know that right now, the main reason why Joe Biden called for the African head of state in the US was because he had seen the threat of Russian invasion in Africa, Chinese invasion in Africa, and he had also seen that Africa was slowly embracing the BRICS currency. Talked about the states that form the BRICS currency. That means Brazil, Russia, India, Chinese, South Africa. And then we also have Saudi Arabia, we have Argentina. So America knew that if at all they had supported someone like Raila Amolo Odinga, definitely Kenya would have headed the BRICS way. But then that's why probably they supported the William Ruto. So they expected that William Ruto would still, embrace their ideologies. But looks like William Ruto has already turned a blind eye on these people. So now, the de-dollarization call is simply placing William Ruto and the Americans at crossroads. No doubt about that, ladies and gentlemen. This is posing a very, very huge risk for William Ruto in 2027. This is going to work in advantage to the advantage of Raila Amolo Odinga, but to the disadvantage of William Samoei Ruto. I want to remind you that here in Africa, there has always been invasions after invasions after invasions. Initially, or in those old days, whenever you would defy Americans, UK, France, they will invade that country to probably topple the government. They do that, or they finance the opposition so that you can be toppled again. Either way, they make sure that you get toppled. So let's go back to the current scenario. Now, it's not easy for maybe Americans to invade, let's say, for example, Uganda, because Uganda didn't support LGBTQ, so they can't invade. What they can do is that they can implement stringent measures that will cripple the economy of Uganda. So, for example, for the issue of Kenya, what they can do is that they can withdraw more aids to Kenya should Kenya continue with that path of de-dollarization. Let's take for example, when the Supreme Court allowed LGBTQ registrations here in Kenya, what followed was that Jill Biden was here in Kenya. First of all, Jill Biden was in Kenya, like on a Friday. On a Saturday, Supreme Court hurriedly made that ruling. On a Sunday, there was word or talk of donor funds here in Kenya. Billions trickled here in Kenya after that law was passed by the Supreme Court. And then on Monday, Jill Biden goes out of the country. So this is what we say, that if you don't support Americans, then you don't get their support, financial support. If you don't support them, support their policies, then financial support is withheld from you. So the de-dollarization call by William Ruto might put him at crossroads with Biden's administrations, because Biden is focused on making sure that BRICS does not succeed in the world or in Africa. Mind you, BRICS currency is being introduced so that it can be used for, oil transactions. One of the biggest trade market is oil. Dollar in a transaction in oil transactions. So should that be replaced by BRICS, then rest assured, dollar it suffer. So this explains why William Ruto made that call, and most Africans have made that call. Malema did. I remember Julius Malema made that call, and also there was another president who made that call. I think he's a Zimbabwean president, Mnangagwa. The name is a bit funny, but Mnangagwa, I think. He made that call. So several heads of state in Africa have made that call. But to Kenya, this is proven to be risky. Mind you, we already are not in good terms with the Chinese at the moment. Chinese did not support this election. They didn't. The government of the day was not their choice because of the campaign policies, what they used to say in the campaign trails. So Chinese do not support this government. So that explains why William Ruto is making that de-dollarization call, and that is simply to put them at a very friendly position with the Chinese government, because Chinese are also calling for de-dollarization. Perhaps that explains why they are so much here in Africa, to a level where by now America walishtuka. It was too late for the Americans to realize that Chinese were going to dominate, but already that has cost them dearly. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to wind up there. Once again, I'd like to urge you to please give your comment below the comment section, whether you think what William Ruto has made, the call that he has made on the de-dollarization, is okay as far as Kenyan economy is concerned. Are we ready for that? Are we ready for a replacement of dollar? Can you tell us below the comment section? And also like to urge you to stay safe, stay blessed until we catch up again in our next analysis.